I was a little upset this morning. You didn't take care of me.
Take care of me as a repairman.
What is a tip? And what are the economics behind tipping? That's what we're going to explore in this video using Curb Your Enthusiasm as a guide. For longtime fans of the series, you'll know there are many situations where tipping is involved and it gets a little bit uncomfortable. We're going to have several clips in this video. We're going to start with one between Larry David and Jason Alexander, who of course played George Costanza on Seinfeld.
Let's coordinate the tip here.
Why?
Well, we split the check. We both have the exact same bill.
We favored nations all of a sudden for lunch?
You know, but what is the big deal if we both leave the same amount?
What do you want to leave? What's your inclination?
$12?
Good. Put down 12.
How much are you going to leave? Are you going to leave $12?
I'm going to write down what I'm leaving right now. I'm writing a number. Now I'm folding that number, and I'm putting it inside my little leather check holder. Waiter, thank you very much.
No problem.
You've been wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're not going to tell me what you left? Is that it?
I am very excited about our show.
You don't believe in tip coordination. Is that it?
Okay, interesting. Little bit of discomfort on coordinating the tips there. A tip, a payment from a customer to a service provider. But tips differ from other economic transactions in significant ways. The level of the tip is discretionary. It differs between customers and between occasions. The norm to tip exists in some countries and not others. Where tipping exists, it occurs in some service occupations, like taxi drivers, but not in others, like bus drivers. Okay, do you got it? For those who live in countries where tipping is normal, even that definition is like, oh yeah, what are all the nuances you need to think about? All of the context here makes the idea of thinking through the economics of tipping a little bit tricky. It makes it a little tricky thinking through what should a person do with regards to tipping. Now, let's watch a few more clips spliced together where tipping makes people uncomfortable in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Welcome.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Okay, all right. You know what? Don't have any small bills. I'll get you later.
Okay.
I detect a little skepticism there.
It's okay.
No. What's your name? Tim?
Tim.
Okay. You working today?
Yes.
All right, I'm all over this. All right? You'll see. I'll be back.
Sir, the bellman will bring up your luggage after you check in.
Oh, okay. I only have big bills. I'll get you later.
Sir, whatever pleases you. That's
Okay.
fine with me.
Do I detect any doubt there? Because
No,
you'll
not
get it.
from me. I trust you. I trust you, sir.
You know what? Here.
Yeah.
This is a better idea. Here's 20. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Split it with Tim. You know Tim outside?
Split it with Tim?
Yeah, give Tim 10.
Absolutely. Thank
Okay,
you so
very
much.
good.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Tell you, Sanji over there was a little upset this morning. You didn't take care of him.
Take care of me as a repairman.
Well, yeah, but he helped you out, and you didn't.
Yeah, and he works for the hotel. My air conditioning wasn't working. I didn't have a good night's sleep. What am I supposed to do?
Just maybe want a little something.
Can you have any kind of conversation with you people without it ending up with a financial exchange?
Well, yes, but like I said.
All right. Excuse me.
Oh, hello, sir.
Yeah, I was talking to Tim over there. He says you're a little upset this morning that you didn't get some kind of gratuity.
A little perturbed, yeah, a little, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
That's your job.
Yeah,
Sanji?
Yeah, it's just like, hey, I appreciate this, common courtesy sometimes. You just say, hey, thank you.
Common courtesy, really?
Put in the time, you fix the air for you.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you, okay?
Yeah.
You know the show, The Producers?
Sure, yeah, big show.
Okay, I'm in the show. I'm going to get some tickets today, and I'll give you a ticket. How about that?
Yeah, take it.
So we're square, right?
Yeah, we are. That's good karma for you.
All right, Sanji.
Hey, that's good, Sanjay.
Okay, Sanjay.
Definitely some more uncomfortable moments there. The next topic within tipping, where economics comes in, why do people tip? Well, once again, this article on the economics of tipping examines the reasons people give for tipping. And within the United States, you see the fact that it's a social norm is number one. Within a separate study, separate sample in Israel, we see that showing gratitude is number one, with the social norm being number two. Avoiding feeling guilty and the fact that waiters depend on tips are pretty high up in the U.S., not quite as high up, of course, in Israel. Let's watch the next set of clips.
This is your key, access to your room. It's your card. This is the card slot. Simply insert the card into the slot. There's a beeping. Wait a second. Firmly apply pressure, and in you go.
That's fascinating.
Some of the amenities, quickly. You have a telephone, dial 9 to get out. There's a television here.
Okay, got that.
These, and you have remote control for power on and off, channel,
Copy that.
up and down,
Okay.
volume up and down. Mini bar also underneath.
Got it. Got it.
Thermostat for air temperature control.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Bathroom with shower.
Turn on the water. You go like that with your wrist, and the water comes out.
Yes.
water, okay.
Yes. The cold is on the right.
Okay. And that's a window.
Yes.
You walk over to it, and you can look out. Is that what it's for?
Yes.
Basically, that's what it's for,
Basically,
right?
yes.
All right, excellent. Excellent. I think I got everything. I think the floors was standing. I think I got it. It's kind of complicated. I'll go over it again. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
All right. I don't have anything for you right now. I only got like 20s. Sorry. I'll get you tomorrow. Don't be dubious. Don't be dubious.
No.
You're dubious. I'm going to get you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
I'll see you outside.
Seriously, I will. There's no problem.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you a 20. That's nuts. That's nutsy, right? Come on.
Sure. It's very nuts. It's crazy. Have a pleasant evening.
Well, I'm supposed to give you a 20. Guy will wind up with more money than me if everybody gave him a 20.
Another situation, Larry David doesn't seem to have the money to leave the tip right away. Little bit of uncomfortable moments there. Doesn't seem like he really even wanted to leave a tip or wanted those services, but he felt obligated, right? Social norm, as we saw in the previous slide. So Larry David says he will catch up, but there's a little bit of discomfort on Larry David. Interesting once again. Now, the amount that people tip, it has gone up. In the U.S., the norm about 100 years ago used to be maybe closer to 10%. By the 1980s, closer to 15%. And now in the U.S., 18 to 20% is customary. The amount to tip, though, it's still quite a bit lower in many European countries, where it could be, say, 10% on a meal and nothing if you go up for counter service, whereas in the U.S., a lot of counter service, they would expect $1 or $2 when purchasing an item from a counter. Many places have implemented automatic tips onto the bill. Here is a very short clip where an automatic tip was on the bill, which you'd think would make things easier, but leads to its own little bit of confusion by Larry David.
$53? It's breakfast.
Yeah, I don't set the prices, sir.
Eggs, pancakes, juice, coffee, $53?
It's a nice breakfast, yeah.
Tip is included?
Yeah. Yeah, 18% just
18%. Do people generally give you more on the extra bonus tipping?
Yeah, sometimes.
They do?
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you another 2%.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much.
You have a nice day.
Okay, you too.
So there's an automatic tip. Do people feel the need to tip a little bit more? Well, Larry David did, although an extra 2%, not a ton of money, but it was a bit more. And you have to imagine for the servers, if everybody left 20% instead of 18%, that would add up over time. Now, what are the potential economic benefits from tipping? A few economic benefits that you could see from tipping. First, and a big one that many people don't talk about often, but economists would know this, is that firms essentially can price discriminate when tips are involved. The practice of price discrimination is where firms charge different people different amounts of money for the same product or service. And a system of price discrimination can actually be more efficient from a societal point of view because you can produce a lot more, which leads to higher producer surplus. Producers are better off, but consumers are actually also better off because more of the product or service is sold or provided. So price discrimination helps to increase total surplus, is what it's called, producer surplus plus consumer surplus, or basically the well-being from a market. Because tips can vary, and those who are more generous or want to tip more could tip a lot more, firms might be able to survive off of low profit margins from those willing to tip very little or not at all, and that is complemented or that's subsidized by those who are willing to tip a higher amount. This is actually an amazingly positive benefit, one that you don't hear as often because the term price discrimination doesn't sound appealing necessarily, but it increases the well-being of society if it can increase the amount of the product or service that's provided. That's a huge one. Other ones that are often mentioned, but there's also people who are skeptical of these for good reason when you see the research. So these are questionable ones, but it could provide better service, right? If somebody's tipped and then they provide better service, that could be a reason for tipping. Another reason could be that customers like it. Customers enjoy the idea of leaving that little bit extra, and they feel good about it. And if they feel good about it, they're happier customers, more well-being, another reason for tipping. Now, Richard Lewis, who at the time of this recording recently passed away, rest in peace to Richard Lewis. He and Larry David had a clip where they're discussing tipping. Let's go to that one now.
Thanks for lunch, by the way.
You're welcome. What is this?
What?
Is a space here to tip a captain?
A captain?
Yeah.
What, instead of a waiter?
No, it's both. Look at this. A space for a captain and a space for a waiter.
So you give both?
Well, what do you mean I give both? What am I supposed to give?
You give the waiter what you want and the captain half.
Half of the waiters? Half of my 20% allotment to the waiter?
Allotment?
Well, I have 20% allotted to the waiter.
It's not like you're in the schmapper business.
The captain's going to be horning in now on my allotment?
No,
on what the waiter's getting?
No, you shouldn't. The waiter was good.
So it's 30%? Is that what you're saying?
20 and 10. You're a bright
20 and
man.
10?
Yeah.
You see a captain? What does he do?
I think I saw it. The guy at the podium who pointed.
I think the captain's horning in on the waiter, frankly, because most people are probably reducing the tip to the waiter.
You think he's horning?
Yeah, I do.
That's hilarious. No, but
Who's this captain out of the clear blue sky?
You gonna not leave anything with him?
I'm giving the waiter 30%. Let the waiter give the captain 10% if he wants. I'll give the waiter the money.
Let's go. Thanks for lunch, by the way.
Okay, so Larry was thinking, I have this amount I'll tip, and now am I supposed to tip more? Am I supposed to split it? Larry's not happy about this, and we talked about the benefits before. Now let's talk a little bit about the drawbacks. The research article we discussed earlier has a chart in there that actually shows the tips received and how it varies by race, and that leads to one of the bigger drawbacks you often hear about with tipping, and that you could have discrimination. You could have discrimination based on how people are tipped based on race or gender. And in fact, there are studies that show that beautiful people are tipped more, which means not beautiful people are discriminated against. They're not tipped as much because they're not as attractive. Pretty big negative if you don't like discrimination. The chart here shows how the tips varied by race of the driver and race of the passenger within New Haven, Connecticut. Other potential drawbacks, well, there can be confusion over when you should tip. There are times somebody would leave a tip that's too much and be upset about it, right? The automatic gratuity might be thrown in there, and then somebody leaves more thinking they were supposed to, and then they find out they will think they got ripped off because they tipped twice. You'll have people who might have left too little and then feel uncomfortable about it after, which actually happens in the Larry David and Jason Alexander clip. We didn't show that here, but that ends up happening. Later in the episode, we find out that Jason Alexander tipped more, and Larry didn't feel good about it. You could have cases where you're tipping multiple people and you end up tipping them different amounts, and they end up finding out about it. Or you could have a case where you leave a tip out and something unfortunate happens with that tip. That's what happened, as we're about to see in this next clip from the current season, season 12 of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Housekeeping. Oh, come in.
5 pieces of apple pie.
Hey, good morning.
Apple with cheese.
Is a problem? What's with the eye roll?
I come back.
What do you mean? Wait a second. I don't understand. Did I do something wrong? This is a typical room. There's clothes strewn about. Yes, I see. There's underwear and socks.
I come
what?
back.
What do they? That's what people do when they're in a hotel. Yeah. And by the way, I'm very considerate of housekeeping. You should know this. I guarantee you there'll be a tip for you in this room. Guaranteed.
I come back.
I feel like somehow I've disappointed you.
I come back later.
What have I done? I'm just staying in a hotel. Is this your first room you've ever cleaned? This is what a hotel is. Oh my God. Fucking dog.
Asshole! You leave me tip in toilet.
Hey! What are you doing? That's my stuff!
You're Batman!
Are you out of your mind? Oh my God! Stop it! Why are you doing this? What did I do?
You throw my tip in toilet, I toss your clothes!
What are you talking about? What? I didn't put money in the toilet! You sick maniac! You're...
So Larry David wants to tip. He wants to do the right thing. He leaves $10 out as he's cleaning off his pants. That goes into the toilet. Not a nice thing. Of course, the person shouldn't be throwing the clothes over. That's completely out of line. But you're thinking about a drawback here. Something unintended happened with the tip. And there is a worry. Would people retaliate? Would servers retaliate if somebody doesn't tip well? Would housekeeping retaliate if somebody doesn't tip well? Another potential drawback of tipping. And the final clips that we're going to show here shows a different drawback. When Larry David decides to be generous, it's the holiday season, is going to go out and tip a lot of different folks. But what happens if some people either really got tipped a different amount or claimed they got tipped a different amount? Let's watch this now.
I'm sorry. Did you tip anybody yet for Christmas?
No.
Huh?
No. You're going to take care of that?
I'll take care of that, and then I got to go get Jeff. We're going to go to the club and tip everybody there. There's no end to it.
But
Just
you know,
for
it's
this
going to make you
holiday.
feel good.
All right, I'll see you later. Okay? What should I give her? I thought you don't know. Okay, and here's a little Christmas thing for you.
Oh.
There you go.
Gracias.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Larry. Thank you.
All right.
You enjoy.
You too.
Bye-bye, Mr. Larry.
Oh, Carlos.
Oh, Senor Larry.
How's the gardening?
Oh, it's good.
Gardening's good?
Gardening's good.
It's good gardening, isn't it?
It's good gardening.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, gardening good, see?
Yeah. Carlos, I have a little something for you for Christmas. Feliz Navidad.
Gracias. Usted eres muy amable. Very kind.
You know what? You can use the two form with me.
Two?
Usted's a little formal for us. Why don't we use the two form?
Gracias, jefe. Gracias.
Is that okay?
No, sí.
Informal, too.
Sí.
Between us. We don't need Usted.
Tú, yo.
Okay, and listen.
Listen, and she's upset because you tipped Carlos twice as much as you tipped her.
What, are you crazy? I didn't do that.
You tipped our gardener
That's really in
twice.
poor form. You can't do that.
He's lying, just like the waiter.
What?
At the club.
What waiter?
I gave the same waiter a tip twice because I didn't remember.
Why are you doing that?
Because I was going around in a circle tipping everybody. I didn't know who to tip and who not. I forgot who I tipped, so I tipped him twice.
Well, you know what you should do? You should take her to lunch at the club.
That is a really good idea.
Treat her to a very nice lunch.
What is it?
Well, I would like it if you took me out. I would like it if you took me out to lunch, is all I'm saying.
You can disagree with her once.
She happens to think that I'm right most of the time.
Well, Senor Larry.
Carlos, let me ask you something. Did you tell Dora that you got a bigger Christmas bonus than her?
No.
Because she told my wife that you said that.
No, senor.
Why would she make up something like that?
No sé.
Don't you find that curious?
No, senor.
In the United States, statistics show that over 40% of U.S. adults have worked in an industry where they've received tips. I myself, I worked as a busboy for a while, and I received tips. I even worked a couple small stints as a waiter, received tips for that. I'm not uncommon. It's incredibly common in the U.S. A large percentage, over 40%, will at some point in their lifetime work for tips. It's a surprisingly little studied field given how many people work for tips. There's a little bit of research, but economic analysis can actually go a long way. Now, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David gets into all sorts of crazy situations. It's part of what makes the show just so ridiculously fun to watch, at least in my opinion. But many of them really do hit on some truths. There's a lot of interesting stuff that goes on here with tipping. And a lot of the negatives do kind of come out from watching Larry David interact. My name's Matt Rosu. This is part of a series where we're examining economic lessons from Curb Your Enthusiasm. We're dropping videos every single Friday of the final season, so please like and subscribe. If this is the first one you're seeing, all the others are in this playlist. So go ahead and check out some of the other economic lessons, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.